Okay, hey, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres, and today is the 30th of May 2018, and I need to follow up on the video that I made about a week ago, I guess. And I started out by, I was in the greenhouse and it was raining, and I came out and I showed you the best soil that we have on this farm, and I want to expound on that a little bit and show you where we've come since then. The reason this is the best soil on this farm is because the people that settled this place farmed in this spot or gardened in this spot, and they have been, so this has been a garden for 100 years. So that has a lot to do with it. You know, I add compost to it, but the bacterial growth, the bacterial content of this soil is so heavy that it can actually do something with it, you know. So that has a lot to do with it. And I went through it with the rototiller, really got it broke up nice. There's pros and cons to that, but that's the way I'm going to do it. And then what we've done is we've put down row covers. Sometimes they call this plastic mulch, but this is not plastic. This is actually biodegradable, and it's made from hemp. Right? So what we do is we roll it out, and then we leave about 3 feet in between each row. And in these early weeks, you'll routinely see people out here, young people that love to come out and hoe. You'll see them in between the rows just knocking weeds down. Because what we are attempting to do here is get ahead of the weed growth. So nothing will come up through this row cover, because it's, you know, it's totally shading the ground, no sun's getting through, but we're able to plant through it. All you do is poke a hole with your fingers and put your plants down in it. And these plants are plants that we got from a neighbor that runs a pretty nice greenhouse operation, and we're glad to do business with them because they have good stuff for us every year. We could definitely produce all of our own here, but it is nice to get out and meet and greet and support other folks that are doing agriculture as well. Then what we're going to do is when we start going through and harvesting our lawn, there's going to be way more than we can feed to our livestock, you know, in this smaller homestead model. So then what we'll do is we'll feed another one of our livestock animals, and it's the bacteria in the soil. We'll feed the soil. So I can use that on top of this row cover, and I can use it in between as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do some planting in between. And we put these row covers at 3 feet, and it gives us plenty of room to plant something like a clover in between, and then I can still get down it with a push mower. You know, if it gets too bushy, we can knock it down. And the trick of that is you go down one side of it and you discharge all the clover into the roots of the plants that you've put in there, the vegetable plants. And then you come down the other way and you blow it the other way into the roots. And so you're using the clover to actually fertilize your vegetables. And it works out really nice, because we don't really want all this really good, active, bacterial-laden soil in between the rows to just sit there. And we don't want it to just stay dry, and we're going to lose a lot of our bacteria if we do that. So we want to consider them too. And all of this is an attempt to thwart growth. And I probably shouldn't use the word weed anymore. Maybe I should leave that word out of my vocabulary, because what is a weed? But there is some stuff out here growing that isn't something that we want to eat, and we're not growing this for the animals. So if we allow it to flourish, say lamb's quarter and all that other purslane and all that stuff, we allow that to flourish, it will choke out what we want for the table in the house. So we're being kind of selective here. We don't want, you know, like everything to be able to grow. We're cutting some stuff out. So that is what is happening here. And while I'm here, I'm going to point out a couple of things, because in this homesteading business, where am I? 8 minutes? No, 5 minutes. As I've said in other videos that I've made, you want to take every advantage that you can. And there was times when I would say fair or unfair, but you know, we're dealing with the soil here, we're dealing with this creation that's here that we're managing. So I would say don't be unfair to the organisms that live out here. Be fair to them. And not to sound too touchy-feely or anything, but we're not at war with this, so you don't come out here and conquer it by any means necessary. That's not what we want to do. But there are some things that will help us, and I think we should take advantage of those things. So here's one. You see that row right there, right along the side? Those are raspberries. So, you know, their mycelium is growing into, you know, the mycelium that's in the beds here. They're all connected. Those rows retain a lot of moisture. And they do another thing too. Here we have, our relative wind comes from the southwest, right? And we're wanting to keep this soil warm, right? Especially this time of the year when it's cool nights, and we don't want a place where we're going to have cool air that's going to puddle. We don't want that. So what this row here provides us with, it provides us with an air dam. So when the wind's coming from that direction, it gets stopped right there, right? And then this is allowed to warm up, you know, with the sun's rays. No free lunch. So we get a bill in the mail for sunshine. No, I'm just kidding, we don't. The sunshine is free. The rain is free. All the soil out here is free. I got to pay taxes on it, but so there is a free lunch here. The row covers are biodegradable, made out of hemp. They're colored black, right? So we get a solar advantage with them, and you get a tremendous solar advantage with them. The thing that you have to be careful with, though, is the soil will dry out very quickly, so you have to keep it watered. And so then we run into irrigation issues and water distribution issues, and I'll go into that in another video of ways to move water around your place without dragging hoses that are going to be in the way when you want to mow and all that stuff. There's ways to do it. I have water every place I want it on this farm, and it's very easy to do, and it's long lasting. So let me cut it off here. This is Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Remember, anyone can farm.